Hello everyone and welcome to Pragmach. Today I wanted to discuss some Razer laptops. For those who might not know Razer, they are known as a gaming company. They do gaming accessories, gaming computers. They are just obsessed with gaming. But this time around, they wanted to target a different kind of consumer. They wanted to focus on productivity. Their attempt to break into that market is the new Razer Book laptop. This is a 13.4-inch laptop which Razer is saying focuses around high-performing productivity, which makes it not the classic gaming focus which we've mostly noticed them for. And the Razer Book contrasts strongly against another of Razer's laptops, the Blade Stealth. Whereas the Razer Book is looking to tackle general productivity, the Razer Blade Stealth is a pure gaming laptop. And there is a recently updated model with the 11th generation chipset which makes it a really good comparison. And the question is, how well does the Razer Book differentiate from that Ultrabook gaming experience with the Razer Blade Stealth? We're going to have a look at the specifications and perhaps identify what situation each product might best suit a consumer. Let's start with the brand new Razer Book 13. Razer says that their previous experience in gaming is what gave them the strength to try out a new segment and focus on productivity. The device is carved out of a single block of aluminum and it boasts an edge-to-edge display on all sides. And Razer claims it is the smallest bezel on all four sides for a 16:10 aspect ratio, which is very specific as not that many laptops have that aspect ratio. It doesn't matter, it has very thin bezels all around. There is also a custom cooling solution from Razer, which they describe as a unique vapor chamber meant to reduce ambient heat and noise emission. For the display, it is a 13.4-inch screen. There is a full HD touchscreen display at 1920 by 1200, and there is a UHD Plus model with a resolution of 3840 by 2100. For processors, there are two configurations available, an i5 and an i7 variant, both 11th generation chips from Intel. The i5 is configured with 8 gigabytes of RAM, whereas the i7 comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. And for graphics, the Razer Book relies on integrated graphics, the Intel Iris Xe. And one of the benefits of the Razer Book is that it has Intel Evo technology. That means is that it has really fast responsiveness. It wakes up from sleep less than a second. And to be classified as Evo capable, the device needs to be able to have 9 or more hours of real-world battery with a full HD display. It's also able to fast charge with 4 or more hours of battery life in a 30-minute charge. So that is very cool there. Some advantages because it integrates that Intel Evo technology. For ports, it is very well equipped. It has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports. As well, it has a USB Type A port, a 3.5mm jack, and a full-sized HDMI 2.0 port. Those are rare to see these days. As well, a micro SD card slot. It is equipped with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. And one last thing for the Razer Book is it does have a per-key RGB keyboard, which is powered by the Razer Chroma. So that's a beautiful RGB backlit keyboard. Alright, moving on to the Razer Blade Stealth. This was updated recently to the 11th generation Intel chipset. Right away it screams gaming because it comes with a 13.3-inch 120Hz display. It has very slim bezels on the sides. It does have a bit of a chin, and it comes with the option of a 1920 by 1080p, which is that 120Hz display, or a 4K OLED display at 60 Hz. Having a look at the processors, another sign that this is a hardcore gaming machine, and that is the Intel Core i7 chipset, which has a 25-watt variant when compared to the regular 15-watt for this Intel chip. Razer claims that that allows for a longer and sustained boost clock speeds, especially when you're processing a heavy workload. For graphics, it has the GTX 1650 Ti with 4 gigabytes of memory. According to Razer, that is an 80% increase in performance over the GTX GTX 1050. For ports, it has a Thunderbolt C port. It also has another USB Type-C port, 2 USB Type-A ports, and it has a 3.5mm jack. No micro SD card reader here. Alright, and for the comparison, to make things fair, we'll configure them both with Intel i7 11th generation chipsets and 16GB of RAM. And once we've configured both with the Intel i7, the pricing is $1599 for the Book and $1799 for the Blade Stealth. And for that $200 difference, some of the variations are as follows. You get a 120Hz screen on the Blade Stealth, which is that focus on gaming, whereas on the Razer Book, you get a touch screen. Both of these displays are 1080p. The memory remains the same, both have 16GB. The Razer Book has half as much storage as the Blade Stealth. Of course, the Stealth does have a discrete graphics solution, a 1650 Ti. One thing to note is there is another configuration, a cheaper configuration of the Razer Book, which is an Intel i5 8GB version without a touch screen. Now that version is $1199. And once we look at pricing and we look at the differences between these two products, the reason you're going to choose the Blade Stealth is because you're interested in having the more powerful variant of the i7, you're more interested in having higher refresh rates than a touchscreen, and you want a discrete graphics solution. It also has more storage, but it's going to cost you $200 more. On the other hand, the Razer Book has a bit more modern design around the display with those narrow bezels along all four sides. The Book also offers a much cheaper entrance point into a Razer laptop, with the base model being $600 less, the cheapest priced Blade Stealth with that 11th generation Intel chipset. The Razer Book also offers a 16:10 aspect ratio, something rare today that those serious about productivity might really benefit from. It offers some extra vertical room for menus and taskbars while working away on projects, and in a world dominated with 16:9 displays like the one on the Blade Stealth, it's a specification that may stand out for you. The other benefit of the Razer Book for productivity would be the promised battery life, which Razer states up to 14 hours. And because of that Evo technology, there is about 9 hours of normal workload battery life. And the final kicker, which is really important to note, the Razer Book has an HDMI port, which is not present on the Blade Stealth. And that means no dongles, or at least less dongles, when you're on the move. If you are a person with a lot of meetings or someone that wants to use this more business friendly, you might be jumping around from a lot of places and you don't want to grab a dongle. You know everyone has an HDMI set up for a display. It's just a standard. And that thought process is a good one from Razer. If this truly is a productivity device, then having easy access to ports is vital. The Blade Stealth, on the other hand, is a true gaming laptop, top to bottom. A clear example is that it can only be purchased in a single configuration with that Core i7 CPU, which is that 25-watt variant, much more powerful than your regular i7, not to mention that discrete graphics solution of the 1650 Ti. And that is a $200 choice between them. The Book does a good job in offering a greater price range and perhaps tempting a few new consumers and customers with its gaming-inspired productivity. It offers a very cool design, a very cool RGB keyboard, which is bound to light up a few boardrooms in the future, or not. Thank you everyone. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. If you have a preference, if you think one device is better than the other, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you from Pragmach.